Choosing a name is one of the first big decisions prospective parents ever make. Likewise, deciding what to call a new business is critical to its success. With so much at stake, we're looking at what's in a name in this week's show. Our centerpiece story is the name game. Local sports parks and school stadiums are cashing in on naming rights to offset shrinking budgets.
This is really the largest naming rights initiative for high school sports in the country because of the gymnasiums, the football fields, and the theaters.
Next up, Ding Darling, Wiggins Pass. The landmarks are familiar, but what about their namesakes? We're looking at some of the area's biggest names. Plus, this year brought a new name to the last remnant of a quirky piece of Southwest Florida's past.
Here we say Koreshan. It comes from Koresh, which the gentleman who started the society, Cyrus Teed, translated his name Cyrus into Koresh from ancient translations, which pretty much means the next Messiah.
We'll have those stories along with the latest in our Positively Healthy Medical series. I'm Amy Osher, and this is Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. Taking a cue from pro and college sports, local governments are hoping to score big bucks from selling naming rights at ball fields and sports parks. Among the grandest plans are the grandstands of high school football. Lee County is leading the charge in the high school name game with a blockbuster package of venues. If everything sells, it could be a cash cow for the school district.
This is really the largest naming rights initiative for high school sports in the country because of the gymnasiums, the football fields, and the theaters.
Adam Regan covers prep sports for the Fort Myers News Press. In less than a year, sports field sponsorships are paying off. First, Dunbar High's football stadium naming rights went to the North Law Firm in a deal worth more than $114,000 over 5 years. But the biggest payday comes just in time for the new school year.
The crown jewel of the package was Bonita Springs High School. Because of its visibility from I-75, it's a brand new, shiny school. People love new things, and it had the highest price tag on it.
Health provider Lee Health will pay $291,000 in a 5-year deal.
We're basically just down the street from the high school, so we just thought it would be a great opportunity to.
Lisa O'Neill is the system's marketing and brand director who championed the project.
It's a national trend where a lot of the pro teams as well as the college teams are naming their stadiums, and there's so many benefits really to both. And the nice thing about it is all the money is going back to the schools.
The way the money is distributed, 60% will go to the school itself. So Bonita Springs High School gets 60% of the proceeds, and 40% will go to the district-wide capital fund.
Agreements are a win-win as it lays new foundation in Bonita Springs.
It's going to be a 24/7 emergency department as well as surgery, imaging, healthy life center.
Lee Health is hoping to score points in a hotly contested medical turf war in southern Lee County.
Yes, that's definitely part of the strategy. When we were presented with this opportunity, we definitely thought it aligned with our strategy as well and building our brand in this community.
It's a sign of the times. With shrinking revenue streams, school districts are forced to get creative, turning their public spaces into money makers.
When the school district presented their package of stadiums, theaters, gymnasiums, they had all the athletic directors do a survey of foot traffic for stadiums, attendance at games and stuff like that.
A third deal was inked by Fast AC to name Estero High's football field. Sponsors get signage along with bragging rights.
You'll see Lee Health, you'll see North Law Firm, you'll see Fast AC. It'll be all over the place.
Well, we're still finalizing plans, but we're looking to have some opportunities to roll out. Our logo's also going to be on the field.
It's now open season. How far this goes, nobody knows.
I don't think there is any end. I mean, you could see sponsorships on football jerseys. I mean, this idea can be stretched very, very far.
We all know the names that grace many of our cultural centers, public parks, even roads, but chances are their namesakes aren't nearly as familiar. It has a nice ring, Ding Darling. The National Wildlife Preserve on Sanibel Island was named after a cartoonist named J. Ding Darling. In 1917, his political cartoons were seen in 130 daily papers. After he turned to conservation cartoons, he was asked to serve on FDR's Wildlife Restoration Committee. After his death, a foundation was started in his name, and the Southwest Florida Wildlife Refuge was eventually named in his honor. Moving to Naples, Delnor Wiggins State Pass Recreation Area, which is often named among the nation's top beaches, honors two former residents. Delora and her husband Nestor Norris acquired the land for a county park in the 1960s. The state later bought it and added the Wiggins name to recognize the property's first homesteader from many years ago. Cultural hubs are frequently named for benefactors or prominent residents. The Sugden name is widely known in Collier. The Community Theater on Fifth Ave and the Regional Park in East Naples are named for philanthropists Dr. Herbert and Martha Sugden. Their names also grace several other public venues. Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall is a frequent stop for big-name performers and shows. Its namesake lived to be 100. Before her passing in 2013, she got to see her dream for a major venue become reality. As a state senator in 1984, Mann secured the funds to build a performing arts hall. More than just a patron, she volunteered within the arts community for more than 57 years. Like the others gracing local landmarks, all leave behind a lasting legacy. A tweak to the name of one of this area's most unique attractions garnered very little attention. The Corian State Historic Park is now simply Corian State Park. The land once belonged to a religious colony that believed they found paradise and possibly immortality in Southwest Florida. Sitting alongside one of the most traveled roads in Florida is a pristine 200-acre state historic site, settled in the 19th century as a religious and social outpost, a self-sufficient communal living site, progressive in many ways.
Here we say Koreshan. It comes from Koresh, which the gentleman who started the society, Cyrus Teed, translated his name Cyrus into Koresh from ancient translations, which pretty much means the next Messiah.
Cyrus Teed brought his Koreshan followers to Estero in 1894 and called this new home the New Jerusalem.
Cyrus Teed's vision was to start here, expand, build this New Jerusalem, as he called it, and bring in people. He continually went out traveling all over the United States to bring people into this culture.
He envisioned a life without vice, equality among the sexes, and reincarnation. The Koreshans held many uncommon views, believing the earth was hollow and that members should remain celibate. They did value music, the arts, learning, and literature.
They loved plays. They did a lot of different plays with the children. Everybody dressed up. They had festivals. They were very, very cultured people. And they shared it with the community. Like, they were the first to really bring that to this area. They brought the first schooling, and a lot of that happened in the art hall. You can still go in the art hall today. You can see the paintings. We have the 150-year-old Steinway piano that we still have music on today. It has amazing acoustics. I mean, it's a beautiful building. The floors are made from a tree that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it's really, really special in there. And when he passed away, since their leader was now gone, the settlement had a hard time holding on. Some people left. Other people stayed and continued the settlement and the unity for a while.
As the Koreshan influence waned, remaining members turned the land over to the state for preservation.
It really came down to paying taxes, I believe, that the Koreshans just couldn't pay anymore. And so they made a deal with the state that we preserve their buildings and their land and their culture and ideas and share that. And so we do.
Now a public park, it consists of 11 restored structures and home sites.
These are the generator building, small machine shop, large machine shop, and where we have a blacksmith.
Visitors can step back in time, going inside buildings that made up the group's industrial park. They were pioneers in generating electric power. They had machine shops, made concrete, milled wood, had a publishing house, and much more.
They still fire up the generator and still run all the machines.
Only remnants are left behind, the beginning of a grand design. For a group which put faith in returning after death, their settlement has a second life. But do you think that he would be happy in a way that his dream to keep something alive has kind of renewed and reincarnated itself?
I think that's a good way to look at it. I really do, because like you said, it is kind of reincarnating their ideas and their beliefs in some ways, and it's sharing those, it's letting them live on and just sharing the story on our weekly tours.
When we come back, a piece of Florida's history may be up for sale. That story is after the break.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
Coming Saturday, October 27th at Cambier Park in downtown Naples, it's the Paradise Coast Wine and Food Experience. Celebrate the best of the Naples culinary scene with chef personalities, celebrated wine experts, and award-winning special guests such as Chef Scott Conant, restaurateur, author, and judge of Food Network's Chopped. Explore the area's trends and traditions, spirits and craft beer, and savory samplings of this grand tasting. Tickets are available at wineandfood.naplesnews.com.
Jean LeBouf has been an anonymous food critic in Lee County for nearly 40 years, and now JLB is expanding into Collier County.
Look for a new review every week. You'll never know where I'll turn up.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA Triple Check Insurance Review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida. And now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now 2 locations to serve you.
The name GERD is likely all too familiar to those suffering from acid reflux. The good news is doctors say some small changes in your eating habits may bring some relief. Here's the latest in this week's Positively Healthy. The term gastroesophageal reflux disease is quite a mouthful. It's likely more recognizable as GERD, often interchanged with indigestion or heartburn. Whatever you call it, you know it when you feel it.
Everyone presents slightly differently, but usually it's that indigestion feeling, that burning that you get kind of right under your chest.
Board-certified gastroenterologist Alexandra Grace suggests monitoring foods may reduce symptoms. Avoiding acidic foods is a good start.
Acid is needed for your stomach to digest food, but it's supposed to stay in your stomach. And there's a little valve that closes when you swallow food. There are different factors, whether it's medication, if you've gained weight, sometimes as you get older, that valve gets a little weaker. And what happens is the acid goes up into the esophagus.
Everyone has their own triggers, but these items are typically no-nos.
Tomato products in general, chocolate, caffeine, spicy foods, and alcohol products can all worsen the chances of reflux because they make that valve a little bit weaker.
Some foods are thought to reduce stomach acid, including leafy greens, cauliflower, broccoli, and potatoes. Oatmeal is good too at absorbing acid, and non-citrus fruits are less likely to cause symptoms. Dr. Grace points out some of our eating habits can also cause a hurtin'.
I usually tell my patients, don't eat within 3 hours of going to bed because you lay down and that food is still digesting, and that can predispose you to some reflux.
Finally, less is more. Eating more frequent, smaller meals aid digestion and may help you slim down, which can further reduce flare-ups.
So it reduces the risk of reflux. Weight loss always helps. Some patients come in and they say, oh, I gained a little bit of weight. That can put more pressure and cause some reflux. So maintaining a healthy weight will also help reduce reflux.
Mound Key is widely known as an important archaeological site. Once the ceremonial center of the Calusa Indian Nation, it eventually became property of the Khorasan religious colony, and they turned it over to the state for preservation. All but one parcel, about 9 acres, which is privately owned and may be up for sale. Jennifer Beeson is following the story for the Daily News. Currently, Mound Key's only inhabitants are the wild goats who have the run of the place, but that could change. Located in Estero Bay, the island is accessed by taking a boat from either Lover's Key or Khorasan State Park. An unspoiled piece of Florida's past, the only private owners recently signed with a real estate company in an attempt to sell. And soon this obscure island may get national attention. You'll have to read Jennifer's story for the details. It's at naplesnews.com. Scoops like that are all in the day's work for our news team. Here's a look at what else is happening on the beat.
Thanks, Amy. Hi, I'm Shelby Reynolds. I'm the food reporter at the Naples Daily News. This week I worked on a story about a husband and wife team who opened a food truck about 2 years ago called El Local. Hurricane Irma flooded the truck last year, so now they've been serving their traditional Mexican street food during pop-ups that show up around Bonita Springs. Read more about the story in Wednesday's Naples Daily News or online at naplesnews.com.
Hi, my name is Brittany Carloni and I'm a reporter with the Banner and the Naples Daily News. This week I wrote about a new Lee County charter school that opened Friday. Athenian Academy Charter School will operate out of a temporary location in Estero on Corkscrew Road and US 41 for the 2018-19 school year. Athenian Academy, which was established in 2000, also operates a location in Clearwater. Learn more about the school in last Wednesday's edition of the Banner and online at naplesnews.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Collins. I'm a features reporter with the Naples Daily News. This past week, I got to go to Whole Foods for a story. I was joined by a local health food expert, Jennifer Koslaw, who showed me what foods to get at a local store like Whole Foods, what foods to avoid, and how to read the label to see if there are any ingredients that you may not be able to pronounce. With all the crazy health food diets out there and all the different grocery shops that are popping up all across Southwest Florida, I thought it would be great to kind of get a local's perspective on how to shop and how not to get overwhelmed on your shopping trip. For more on this story and to see my experience, visit naplesnews.com.
I'm Harriet Heithouse, arts and entertainment writer for the Naples Daily News and naplesnews.com. When most of us retire from a long-time job, we get a crystal vase or a watch or a big party. What Edward Park got was a 3,000-mile drive from the last art fair he exhibited in. He's now planning to make Naples his full-time home, but it's been a long journey for him. Read about his story in today's Naples Daily News and naplesnews.com.
And he's one of our biggest names in the newsroom. It's time for Brent Batten and his weekly commentary. Brent.
Thanks, Amy. A couple of fellows from Southwest Florida recently took part in the American Ninja Warrior Made-for-TV competition in Miami. Good for them. If you've not watched the show, it's a race against the clock and a series of physical challenges like climbing a wall and swinging from a rope. Basically, it's an obstacle course. I've never understood the name American Ninja Warrior. I thought ninjas were guys who sneak around at night and fight with swords. But I guess American obstacle course runners didn't test well in focus groups. American Ninja Warriors is a great test for people with upper body strength, balance, and agility. Top competitors usually identify themselves as personal trainers or parkour instructors. How about a show featuring obstacles those of us with real jobs can relate to? I'd call it American Workplace Warriors. The first obstacle is getting in the building. Try to balance your donuts and papers as you fumble for your key fob and get through the heavy employees-only door. Next, the coffee machine. Ideally, someone has already made a pot and all you have to do is pour. But if you're unlucky, it's your turn to fill the water, find the filters, and open the foil packet without making a mess. Hustle to your desk with a cup of hot coffee in time to take on the voicemail. You must be quick to jot down those names and callback numbers before the message ends. Then it's time for the 10 a.m. staff meeting. The challenge is to say enough to make it look like you're interested and useful without going overboard to unnecessarily prolong the meeting. The TV producers are very clever and can certainly come up with more workplace obstacles to rotate in and out of the competition to keep things fresh. As in American Ninja Warriors, though, the final obstacle will always be the same: racing for the door and navigating the parking lot at 5 p.m. Oh, and if you'll excuse me, I have to go train for that one right now. I'm Brent Batten. Be sure to read my columns on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the Naples Daily News. Check me out on Facebook, and as always, thanks for watching.
Coming up, whatever you call them, they are growing in popularity. Owners of hairless pets say there's lots to love. That's ahead on Behind the Headlines.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full-service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida. And now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now, 2 locations to serve you.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
Coming Saturday, October 27th at Cambier Park in downtown Naples, it's the Paradise Coast Wine and Food Experience. Celebrate the best of the Naples culinary scene with chef personalities, celebrated wine experts, and award-winning special guests such as Chef Scott Conant, restaurateur, author, and judge of Food Network's Chopped. Explore the area's trends and traditions, spirits and craft beer, and savory samplings of this grand tasting. Tickets are available at wineandfood.naplesnews.com.
Jean LeBouf has been an anonymous food critic in Lee County for nearly 40 years, and now JLB is expanding into Collier County.
Look for a new review every week. You'll never know where I'll turn up.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA triple check insurance review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
Feel like you know a lot of Tiffany's or Ashley's? Depending on your age, maybe it's a Susan or a Mary. Babies' names go up and down in popularity, so we thought we'd take a look at what's hot and what's not. Using a combination of data from the U.S. Social Security Office and the website Baby Center, here's trending baby names over the past 100 years. In 1918, Mary, Helen, Dorothy, and John, William, and James ruled the charts. By 1920, Mary, Ruth, and Virginia coupled with John, Edward, and Frank. Jump to 1950, and most girls were named Linda, Mary, and Patricia, with top boys' names being James, Robert, and John. 1980 saw Jennifer, Amanda, Jessica, along with Michael, Christopher, and Jason. In the year 2000, Emily, Hannah, and Madison were matched with Jacob, Michael, and Matthew. For 2017, Emma, Olivia, and Ava were tops, with Liam, Noah, and William leading the boys' names. Now to the fun stuff. You know a lot of Tiffany's? That name was in the top 20 for the entire decade of the 80s. The name Ashley for a girl was number 1 in 1992. Now the winners and losers in the name game. Government stats showed big jumps between 2016 and 2017 for girls named Ensley, Oakland, and Dream, and with boys Wells, Cairo, and Caspian. Dropping significantly over the same period were Julianne, Wendy, and Melania, along with the boys Rain, Kylo, and Colby. And drumroll, the most popular girls and boys name in the U.S. since records started are Mary and Michael. One of the reasons we love our pets so much is that they love us unconditionally, no matter what we look like. And the feeling is mutual for owners of hairless dogs and cats who love them in spite of, or maybe because of, their lack of fur. Harriet Hidehouse noticed what may be an uptick among Neapolitans in owning hairless breeds. Among the most popular are Sphynx cats and Chinese crested dogs. Their lack of hair doesn't mean these animals come at a bargain price. In fact, these breeds are pretty pricey, and they require a little extra care when it comes to keeping them clean and protecting their smooth skin from sun exposure. For more on why their owners are hooked on hairless, check out Harriet's story at naplesnews.com. And we're going to leave you today with another quirky animal. Not a pet, but it's packing plenty of personality. Maybe you saw this video making the rounds. That's a skunk doing a handstand and kind of a handstand dance. The video was captured on a wildlife cam in Arizona by the National Park Service. It's not uncommon, really, for the spotted skunk to bring it to scare off aggressors. And there's really nothing to say after that, so we'll leave it right there. You can always catch up on past shows by logging on to naplesnews.com. On the homepage, scroll down to Quick Links and select Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. See you back here next week.